welcome fans to Lynchburg, Virginia and Schellenberger Field for today's NCAA Division III Women's Lacrosse game, featuring the visiting Eastern Mennonite Royals and your Lynchburg Hornets. Today we honor and celebrate our 12 graduating student athletes for their dedication, hard work, and achievements during their time with Lynchburg. Let's begin today's ceremony by honoring Emily Clay. Emmy is a one-year member of the Lynchburg Women's Lacrosse program, and during her time with the Hornets, she earned Dean's List honors in the fall of 2025. Off the field, she served as an officer on the Student Athlete Advisory Committee. Her favorite memory at Lynchburg was an overtime victory over St. Mary's, along with the relationship she's built with her teammates. Clay will graduate with her Master of Business Education and plans to return to Virginia Beach to work as a tax accountant while pursuing her CPA. She's joined today by her parents, Matthew and Carrie Clay, along with Ryan Clay, Abby Whitney, Jack Whitney, and Zachary Whitney. Next, we honor senior Virginia Heffernan. Virginia is a four-year member of the Lynchburg Women's Lacrosse program, and during her time with the Hornets, she earned all ODAC academic team honors all 4 years, along with Dean's List recognition in 2022 and President's List honors in 2025. She was also nominated for the National Honor Society in 2024. Off the field, she completed an internship with the Hill City FC. Heffernan will graduate with a degree in sports management with a minor in digital media marketing. She plans to relocate to Lewes, Delaware, and pursue a career in sports or fashion. She's today joined by her parents, Mike and Amy Heffernan, along with her brother, Patrick. Next, we honor senior Sydney Dumas. Sydney is a four-year member of the Lynchburg Women's Lacrosse team. During her tenure here, Dumas earned first-team All-Conference and second-team All-State honors as a junior after second-team All-Conference selections in her freshman and sophomore seasons. She was also a three-time All-ODAC academic team honoree, earned Dean's List and President's List recognition, and was inducted into the Sigma Theta Tau International Honor Society of Nursing in 2025. Off the field, she served as secretary of the Student Nurses Association, was involved with FCA, and worked as an athletic operations assistant all 4 years. Her favorite Lynchburg memory was karaoke nights with teammates after games her freshman year. Dumas will graduate with a Bachelor of Science in Nursing and plans to work as a registered nurse on the Cellular Immunotherapies and Transplant Unit at VCU Health. A message from Sydney: thank you to my team, coaches, and alumni for all the highs and lows that have made Lynchburg my home for the last 4 years. Today she's joined by her mother, Isabel, along with her brother and sister, Tyler and Leah. Now we honor senior Chastity Kerner. Chastity is a four-year member of the Lynchburg Women's Lacrosse team, and during her time, Kerner earned all ODAC academic team honors and was named to the IWLCA Academic Honor Squad. She also graduated cum laude with her undergraduate degree in business management with a minor in human resources. Her favorite Lynchburg memory came in an overtime victory over St. Mary's. Kerner will graduate with her Master of Business Administration and plans to return to Sterling, Virginia, where she will work as a human resource business partner at Peloton. She's joined today by her parents, Matthew and Jamie, along with her brother, Brian. Next, we'll honor Katie Babinas. Katie's been on the Lynchburg Women's Lacrosse team for all 4 years. Off the field, Katie has been involved with FCA and LHSN during her time at Lynchburg. Her favorite memory is a split between a spring break trip to Florida and an overtime victory over St. Mary's this season. Katie will graduate with her Bachelor of Science in Biology and plans to pursue a career as an emergency medicine physician's assistant. She is joined today by her parents, Amy and Sean, along with her uncle Kirk, cousin Sebastian, and Aunt Renee. Next, we'd like to honor Taylor Doherty. Taylor is a 4-year member of the Lynchburg Women's Lacrosse program, and during her Hornet tenure, she earned second-team All-ODAC honors and was a 3-time All-ODAC academic team selection. She was also named to the IWLCA Academic Honor Roll, nominated to the National Honor Society, and served as a team captain in 2025. Her favorite Lynchburg memory was sharing the field with her teammates and longtime partner, Virginia Heffernan, over the past 4 years. Doherty will graduate with a degree in criminology and a minor in forensics. Following graduation, she plans to attend Marine Officer Candidate School. A message from Taylor: thank you to Lynchburg for making the past 4 years so memorable. Today, she's joined by her parents, Tracy and Mike, along with their sister, Tara, and brother, Michael. Now we'd like to honor Carly Jackson. Carly has been on the Lynchburg Women's Lacrosse team for all 4 years at Lynchburg, and during her Hornet tenure, she earned ODAC All-Academic Team honors and was named to the IWLCA Academic Honor Roll. Off the field, she was involved with the Student Athlete Advisory Committee during her time at Lynchburg. Her favorite memory came in an overtime victory over St. Mary's. Jackson will graduate with her Master of Business Administration and plans to work as a proposal specialist. She is joined today by her parents, Katie and E.J. Jackson. Next, we'd like to honor senior Neely Morris. Neely is a 4-year member of the Lynchburg Women's Lacrosse program, and during her Hornet tenure, she earned all ODAC honors twice, including first-team recognition as a junior after a second-team selection her sophomore year. She also garnered second-team All-State honors as a junior and was named a U.S. Lacrosse Magazine preseason All-American Honorable Mention selection as a senior. Off the field, she has worked in the Lynchburg mailroom since her sophomore year, and her favorite Lynchburg memory came during a team trip to Florida her junior year, when she, along with teammates Virginia and Taylor, won a dance battle with an interpretive performance from the coaches. Morris will graduate with a bachelor's degree in criminology and plans to pursue a career in counterintelligence or within the federal government. A message from Neely: to everyone, enjoy the little moments because you won't remember the score of each game or your stats, but you will remember the jokes and memories that happen every day. Thank you, Lynchburg, for giving me my best friends and memories for a lifetime. She's joined today by her parents, Stephen and Emily, and her siblings, Kellen, Brody, and Hayes. Next, we honor senior Emma Timber. Emma is a 4-year member of the Lynchburg Women's Lacrosse program, and during her time here, she earned ODAC All-Academic Team honors in 2024 and 2025, was named to the IWLCA Academic Honor Squad in 2025, and received both the Electronic Media Award and Female Academic Athlete of the Year honors in 2026. Off the field, Timberg was a member of the Westover Honors Program. Her favorite Lynchburg memory came this season in a win over St. Mary's, sharing the moment with her teammates and the program. Timberg will graduate with a Bachelor of Arts in Communication Studies in Electronic Media and aspires to work in sports content creation or social media management. She's joined today by her parents, Anders and Rebecca Timberg. Next, we honor Carmen Nicolas. Carmen is a 2-year member of the Lynchburg Women's Lacrosse program, and during her time here, Carmen earned all ODAC Academic Team and IWLCA Academic Honor Roll honors in 2025, along with President's List recognition and Outstanding Research in Psychology Academic Award in 2026. Off the field, she worked at the Hornet shop during her time at Lynchburg, and her favorite memory is split between an overtime win over St. Mary's and a spring break trip to Florida. Carmen will graduate with a double major in counseling, psychology, and criminology, and aspires to work as a child therapist. She's joined today by Gail Scoggin and Dustin Tanner. Next, we honor McKenna Steinow. McKenna is a 4-year member of the Lynchburg Women's Lacrosse program, and during her Hornet tenure, Steinow earned second-team All-ODAC honors in 2025 and was named to the ODAC All-Academic Team. Off the field, she was a member of the chess club, and her favorite Lynchburg memory is making trips to Wawa with teammates after games. Steinau will graduate with a bachelor's degree in marketing and plans to move to Charlotte, North Carolina to pursue a career as a wedding planner. She is joined today by her parents, Brooke and Bob, along with her dog, Mr. Banks. Finally, we honor senior Megan Wheeler. Megan is a four-year member of the Lynchburg Women's Lacrosse program, and during her time here, she was a four-time ODAC All-Academic Team selection, earned President's List and Dean's List honors, and was served as a team captain. Off the field, she was the secretary of the Pre-Physician Assistance Club and a member of the Phi Epsilon Kappa academic fraternity. Her favorite Lynchburg memory came in an overtime victory over St. Mary's, marking the program's first ever win against the Seahawks. Wheeler will graduate with a Bachelor of Science in Exercise Physiology with a minor in Biology and plans to attend a physician assistant program with the goal of becoming a cardiology physician's assistant. A message from Megan: to my teammates, I truly will miss each and every one of you. Lynchburg Lacrosse has given me my best friends. I love getting to show up every day, walk into the locker room, and just crack jokes and see everyone. These 4 years really do go by fast, so cherry every single moment. To my coaches, thank you for giving me the opportunity to wear Lynchburg across my chest these past 4 years. I am forever grateful to be a part of this program. She is joined today by her parents, Scott and Jen, along with her brother, Parker. Let's give one more round of applause for our graduating student athletes.
The Lynchburg Hornets looking to protect home turf against the Eastern Mennonite Royals in this Saturday afternoon contest. Women's lacrosse coming to you live on LHSN and Flow College. Hi, everybody. Evan Gates. Welcome to Schellenberger Field Senior Day festivities. Certainly feels like there is just another air of celebration for a squad that has 11 seniors being recognized, 4 grad transfers this season. So you recognize this team has a lot of talent and a lot of veteranship and has really helped them out along the way. Let's take a look at stats coming into this one. Lynchburg, a team that scores at a high clip. Unfortunately for them, coming away with a loss against Marywood last time, out 8-6. Trying to right the ship today in their second ODAC contest. Of course, the first one of the season came away with a strong victory against Sweetbriar. So it's going to be a theme trying to score early, using those seniors, of course. We know the attack that this team possesses with Dumas and Morris, Steinau up front. They combined for about half of the team scoring last year. They're all going to be on the board and try to find it early. Let's take a look now at our players to watch. Got to start with EMU, a team that has used several of their underclassmen, and Ava Walker, one in particular to pay attention to, the sophomore from Glen Allen, Virginia, starting every contest this year. All 7 that she has appeared in, 11 goals and 2 assists to her name, and you really feel like for the Royals, they want to utilize her services as well as setting the tone for years to come, a culture that features a lot of young talent for the Royals. And on the other side, so many seniors to choose from, but Sydney Dumas, of course, one that stands out, 231 career points at Lynchburg, and it has been just a spectacular showing to begin the season. The hat tricks, the assists to go with it, all the stats coming together. And for Dumas, obviously her sister Leah was a part of Lynchburg's program that really set the pace for Coach Mackenzie Rafferty. And as we've seen this continued success, particularly at home to start the year, 4-0 mark for Lynchburg, you feel like there is a lot to celebrate. Going to be a fun one here on this Saturday. Men's lacrosse tonight. The women's game starts the party as we get set for the Royals and the Hornets on LHSN. We'll be right back to get it started. Just about set here on Schellenberger Field. Lynchburg, Eastern Mennonite in this women's lacrosse contest, and really the start of the heart of ODAC play as we approach the late portion of March. It really feels like things are going to start to shape up. Every single team in the nation has at least 2 losses, and Lynchburg right there at the top right now with Washington and Lee in the conference standings. But of course, that is without a lot of conference games being played. It's going to shake up considerably here in the next few weeks. This is the start of something special for a Lynchburg team that understands the senior presence that they have. We just talked about it, 11 seniors that were recognized and a squad that feels very poised to make a difference on the attack. We'll go ahead and take a look at the starters for Lynchburg, and this is a Hornet squad that, as we said, will go out with a lot of those veterans: Virginia Heffernan, Sydney Dumas, Chastity Corner, Katie Babinis, Taylor Doherty, Carly Jackson, Neely Morris, Emma Timberg, Carmen Nicolas, Olivia Owings, McKenna Steinow, and Megan Wheeler. EMU, a team that also has a lot of youth on their side, and the Royals have started to really enjoy their presence. Despite the record being at 0-8, they feel like this team has a direction for the next few years. Going to be very important to see how they handle some of the pressure against these tougher opponents in the conference. Ava Walker, the player to watch, going to headline that midfield in the attack with Haley Walker, Kayleen Todd, Brianna Cruz-Dempsey, Shaylee Sims, Jocelyn Allenson, Ari Smart, Liliana Guerrero, Taylor Linton, Ava Schwartz, Leslie Alemán, and Alyssa Hunter in goal. 2 freshman goalkeepers in this one, and they have a lot of veterans to go right there with them. To the center circle we go. The opening draw here on Shelley. We are up and away. Lynchburg can arouse it right away, and Neely Morris will set up shop on the far side of the field. Lynchburg 7-2, looking to avoid back-to-back losses for the first time this year. Dropped that 8-6 matchup on the road at Marywood, a difficult game to play in the middle of the road going up to Scranton, Pennsylvania. And the Hornets did not necessarily have that high-caliber offense that you come to expect and anticipate. As Timberg's going to go back outside. Now a few quick steps from Steinow looking to converge. Extra one to Dumas, right on the doorstep. Over the top, stick to the turf, and Lynchburg out in front. Didn't take long for one of the spectacular seniors to find the board, Sydney Dumas. 231 career points coming into this one, and the story continues to grow. What a blossoming future she has had year after year, just continuing to make contributions in a Lynchburg team that had 5 All-ODAC selections last year. She was one of them and one of the 4 that returned. Hornets 1, EMU nothing through 40 seconds here on Schellenberger Field. Glad that you could be with us on this Saturday afternoon. So many folks to celebrate. We will try to talk about all of the seniors throughout the broadcast, one of them being Chastity Corner. Able to corral and send it forward. Pass for a moment not collected. Who wants it? Ground ball. Roll the other direction. Now Lynchburg off and running. Nicholas back to the center of the field, and Dumas going to start the play on the far side. Lynchburg, a team coached by Mackenzie Rafferty, now at 30 wins in her Hornets tenure, 3rd season in the Hill City. Obviously, a lot of the talent that is in the senior class dealt with the coaching change early in their careers as the pass is disrupted right in the middle. Picked back up from Neely Morris. She wants to go all the way, laces it to the left side of the goal. Full vision all the way through the follow. 2-0 Lynchburg. Mentioned that 3-headed monster you tend to talk about from the scoring side. Dumas, along with Neely Morris and McKenna Steinow. And Neely Morris just had a spectacular season last year. She has been one of the more complete players for Lynchburg. When you look at the draw controls and the other stats to go with it, she picks up goal number 9 of the season. Back to the middle where she will try to take the draw against Ava Walker. This time, looks like EMU is going to be the beneficiary of the call, and they will try and get some sort of offense going. Obviously, Lynchburg, a team that can rattle you in every department. Attempting to move forward, a chance for Cruz Dempsey, rolling closer to the goal. Now Lynchburg going to have to go back. Royals starting to pass. They want to live through Ava Walker at the top as she delivers to the far side. Walker in her sophomore season, 11 goals, 2 assists. And her freshman season set program single season records for goals scored and points scored. So EMU, as we said, has themselves a very talented contributor up top. Ball is in her stick now, looking for action and corner, better defense. Dishes off to Sims. Now Walker against contact, and Owings look to get that stick on it in goal. Trying to collect on the far side. The ball is free. Owings is going to have to get back. EMU looking for a quick pass. Better recovery from Lynchburg, who has just been a step ahead so far to begin this contest. Up a pair in the first quarter. Hornets will take over as it's over the line. And a Lynchburg team that expects to clear quickly and attempt to get that transition back. Near side, here comes Nicholas trying to go coast to coast. Now Wheeler. Off to the left side, Taylor Doherty. Ready to roll the spin. Up top, still moving, and just misses left on the shot. Taylor Doherty, senior from Salisbury, Maryland. Has really had a profound impact on this team. Now Virginia Heffernan, extra pass. Wheeler trying to weave through traffic. Goes to the right side, bounces it to the left and in. Turf assistance for the Hornets' third goal of the game. Megan Wheeler moves forward, and the Ocean City, Maryland native is on the board. Typically credited for her defensive ability, also proving she can turn it into goals on the other side. If you're just tuning in, Lynchburg at EMU, this women's lacrosse contest, not the only one in the ODAC going on right now. 2 other affairs that started at 1 o'clock. Roanoke traveled to the Garden State to face TCNJ, and then Sweetbriar facing Randolph down the road. We'll try and scoreboard watch as we keep you updated with those. This one's starting a little bit later than the original start time of 1 o'clock, and glad we're off and running this time in the Hill City. 10:58 to go in the first quarter. Lynchburg by 3. Wasting no time off the draw. Pass gets away, but now collected by Dumas. Hornets in the home Reds, and they have been red hot at home. 4-0 this season. 2 overtime affairs, and that has really been an interesting narrative because you think about so many games in recent seasons that are decided by 10 or more points. There have been some very tight ones as Steinow had to embrace some contact on her way to the goal. It's going to be a first free possession opportunity of the game. Just 2 seasons ago, Lynchburg, in their 18-game season, had 15 of them decided by 10 or more points, whether it was a win or a defeat. As Steinow tries to go all the way, spiked that one a little bit to the right. It's out of bounds. EMU takes over. And so for the Hornets in these overtime games to be 2-0 on Shelley, you really like your chances if you get into a tight game against another conference foe later on. Of course, Randolph-Macon waiting on the doorstep for the next game, and Lynchburg lost both of those games last year by a single point. Got to focus on the task at hand as Taylor Doherty tries to rip through. Now the pass behind the goal. Opportunities. Stein now. Looking to dance. Nice move to dip under and bounces it in. Beautiful dodge moving to her left. Sometimes it takes a little patient offense to make it work. See this extra move. Not much you can do on the defensive side if you're Allison. Lynchburg keeping the vibes high to get this game underway, and as one would anticipate, knowing the Hornets have claimed the past 4 matchups against EMU, they've scored at least 20 goals in each of the 3 contests. The 4th one was ruled a forfeit, so these 2 teams didn't play back in 2022. Now Hornets near side, giving it to Steinau, centering pass, and Neely Morris has a lot of fresh turf ahead. Have to expect this Lynchburg team wants to get all the seniors their big moment on senior day. Timberg, nice dish to Dumas. Pretty assist to set up shop for the senior with 233 points now in that Lynchburg career. And, you know, we talk about the career numbers a lot for Sydney Dumas, but obviously you've got to take it year by year. And it has been an opportunity for her to really improve. When you look at the All-ODAC honors from these last few seasons, a 3-time All-Conference selection, she hadn't earned first-team honors until last year. You're really feeling like that evolution as a player has just appeared before our eyes, and it's also been a very similar theme to what we saw with her sister Leah. 57 goals last year for Sydney, 3rd in the ODAC, 13 hat tricks throughout that season. Referee will award possession to EMU off the draw. Beg your pardon, Lynchburg's going to take over. Dumas now on the far side. Hornets holding a 5-goal lead to get this one started. As we said, this is not the only Lynchburg lacrosse game today. 7 o'clock, the men's team taking on Bridgewater. Full day of action here on Schellenberger, and a time when spring sports are very much exclusive. We talked about a lot of the winter sports and the success Lynchburg has had to extend those seasons into early March. Obviously, a lot of those NCAA championships have come and gone. Carly Jackson for a moment had it. Now will dish it off. Extra one to the right, Steinau. Now moves to Emmy Clay, one of the 4 transfers for Lynchburg. Jackson. Hornets not afraid to use the shot clock. That's now down to 20 seconds. Chastity corner at a shot. Deflected by the freshman keeper, Alyssa Hunter. Lexington, Virginia native. Already has 106 saves on the season coming into this one. It's been relied upon heavily. Obviously, EMU trying to improve that record of 0-8. But it feels like that really throws you into the fire as a goalkeeper and gives you that early experience. And a lot of freshmen who are involved with teams and schedules like that are going to be looking very strong by their junior and senior seasons. EMU looking for their opening mark on the board. Right in the middle, opportunity for Haley Walker. Going to have to dish it off. Now Shaylee Sims tries to go through, and a soft shot that finds the back of the net. Against her momentum, got right to the center And just a flick of the wrist to put it in the back and make it 5-1. Shaylee Sims, the senior from Palmyra, Virginia, started 6 of her 8 appearances this year, and that will go up 1 after this game. Fluvanna County High School graduate. .6:30 to go here in the opening quarter. Lynchburg, as anticipated, has controlled this one from the start. EMU trying to scratch back into that lead that's now just 4. Carly Jackson, DIY project, do it yourself. Able to get the draw in possession, goes to her right with corner. We've talked about a lot of the isolation that Lynchburg has used in previous years. A lot of that credit goes to players like Sydney Dumas up top, but the Hornets passing has really been proficient to start the year, averaging 6 assists per game. Jackson, extra one's going to collect this time as Steinow goes to the bottom left, slots it through, and on cue, the Hornets rotations looking seamless to get this game started. Goal number 2 for Steinow on the day. Have to feel like Lynchburg has erased the taste out of their mouth from that Marywood contest where they only scored 6 goals. They're already at 6 here in this first quarter. Back to the circle. Got to feel like the efficiency from Lynchburg so far in this game is much appreciated. 9 shots, 7 on goal, 6 in the back of the net. EMU has only collected 1 draw control so far. Before that, now the Royals have a chance. Once again, patient offense, probing at the top. Shaylee Sims picked up the first goal for EMU, goes to Ava Walker. They've relied upon a lot of this penetration, looking to set the pick. Pass right to the middle. Disrupted for the Bowman, who wants the ground ball. And out of the scrum comes Taylor Doherty. A little too much contact that time. Got to feel like that physicality will really help you out in ODAC play. This is a conference that has so many schools right in the middle of the mix. Washington and Lee has looked untouchable at the top of the conference in recent years. They've only dropped 1 conference championship since 2003. That was back in the 09 season against Roanoke. And they beat Shenandoah 14-6 for last year's title. But you got to really try and erase those narratives if you're anyone in the chase pack, because this is a conference that has a lot of that middle talent we talked about. Shenandoah, a team that has been there. Randolph, Macon, and Lynchburg always having those trademark battles. And it's a Generals team that are 7-2. Dropped tight affairs to 6th-ranked Franklin and Marshall and 8th-ranked Salisbury early in the year. Yes, there are 2 losses in the top 10, so I don't think anyone's discrediting them for their conference accolades. And they're just as mortal as any other team in the land. Looks like the referee is counting the number of players. Green card assessed to EMU, and that is heads-up awareness for the officiating crew. Obviously, when you have as many players on the field at one time as you do, they will see that one out right away. Hornets now moving near side. Pass to Isabella Vogel. Seeing some of the underclassmen start to get minutes after the seniors started the party. That shot right in front of the goal misses from Margaret Scoggin. Collected by the Royals. Scoggins, someone who really had an impressive improvement from the 24 season to last year. 17 appearances in 2025, 12 goals and 7 assists. Crucial part of the attack up front. You already see that pressure being applied. Costly pass this time. Lynchburg opening up transition. Hossauer. Extra pass in transition, shot over the top, just above the top shelf. Hornets will have another chance. Vogel didn't miss by much. She'll have a second one right here. And this time notches it right to the keeper. Melissa Hunter heads up play. EMU trying to run the other direction. Cruz Dempsey got that pass off to her left. And Haley Walker wants a little extra patience. Lynchburg 6, EMU 1. 2:40 to go in the first quarter. EMU facing back-to-back games on the road after they had a 4-game homestand, which right in the middle of March has to feel much appreciated. Starting to get to that tough part of the conference schedule as Ava Walker's shots off the mark. Owings way far away from home out of the goal, and Lynchburg's going to take over possession again. We've seen that several times from the freshmen. Not afraid to go after it. Have to talk about the goalie battle in a game like this because both of them are freshmen and both of them have played every second of the season. Olivia Owings for Lynchburg emerging right into the pack and has to feel important with the way that she has played to help this team to a 7-2 mark to start the season. Pass to Vogel, and third time's the charm. First 2 shots, a little too high, a little too wide. This one won't miss. The Hornets a touchdown in this first quarter. That's Vogel's 9th goal of the season. Pennsylvania native that saw some time in her freshman season. You see the number of attackers that are going to be graduating after this season for Lynchburg. We've talked about them at length to start this game, so any attacker in the next role and that next wave is going to get a lot of playing time in the future for Coach Mackenzie Rafferty's squad. EMU takes over. Hossauer unable to get the draw for the Hornets. Another individual we've really seen grow up before our eyes, and she has had opportunities to help out as one of the top scorers for Lynchburg this season. Pass from Ari Smart. Now goes to the stick of Walker. EMU got that first goal, and one that wasn't very emphatic. It was just a smart shot. Found the angle. They'll try to use some clock here. Could let the shot clock dwindle all the way down as the game clock's right at 40. Walker moving to her right, will weave back outside. Smart, nothing doing. Better defense. Lynchburg building a brick wall in front of the goal. Game clock down to 15. Shaylee Sims trying to get goal number 2. Looks to go to the ground, and Owings clean collection duties. The Hornets looking comfortable on senior day to get it started. 7-1 out in front here on Schellenberger Field. We'll take a moment. We'll be back on LHSN and Flo College. Stick with us for more fun here in the Hill City. So far, so good for the Hornets. They're up 7-1 over EMU in this Senior Day Women's Lacrosse contest. And tell you what, the two leading scorers for the team, Sydney Dumas and McKenna Steinow, living up to the advertisement. Now 30 goals apiece to start this season, and the Hornets have to feel comfortable on their home turf. 4-0 record at home for Lynchburg this year. A chance to go 5-0 if they can hold on to the victory. And being able to recognize all the seniors, a lot of family in attendance, and it's just been a very exciting feel to kick off this Saturday afternoon. And of course, always some family members that can't be in attendance. Big welcome into everybody who is watching at home, including Taylor Doherty's brother Michael out at Camp Pendleton out in California. Special to see this Lynchburg community, especially as a lot of Hornets graduate, continue to move forward in their careers outside of athletics. Can be something special as the shot's off the mark by Vogel. Traffic jam right in front of the goal. From the top, Haley Williams, another one of the transfers. Will reverse direction and go behind the goal. Now Messinio able to dodge right in front. A centerpiece to start the second quarter. Lily Messinio, the freshman out of Davidsonville, Maryland, picks up goal number 11. The lone Hornet wearing a jersey number in the 40s this year. That's been something we haven't seen for a few years. Megan Wheeler has been 33 for a while, and always cool to see some of the changes year to year. And speaking of the changes, if you notice that Lynchburg began with possession for that second quarter, that's another new rule change for the season. If you end the first or the third quarter and you have possession, there's not an opening draw. So you saw the Hornets with time winding down in that first quarter, content to not waste a shot and start right where they left off. Of course, lacrosse, one of the sports where it feels like there are constant rule changes season to season, and you can get into the rule book. There are so many iterations to even try and understand, and it's always fun as the season goes on. You see them appear more and more. Did not take much time to notice a rule change of that size and margin. Lynchburg, a team that's also very good in transition, so when you feel like they get possession, even if it's far away from home, they can really turn it into a goal in a hurry. Clear percentage has been a stat for the Hornets where they've consistently stayed inside Division III's top 30. They're there right now, an 87% mark on the season. By the way, to put that into perspective, opponents against Lynchburg clearing at just 54%. That means getting from that defensive side of the field, trying to move towards the attack and the goal. Sims up top, extra pass to her left. Tight defense and few options to work with for Walker. The two Walker sisters, Ava and Haley, wearing numbers 1 and 2, both Glen Allen, Virginia natives, and very fun to see them on the field at the same time as Owings is able to collect. For EMU, Haley wearing number 2 is a transfer from Goucher College. Also a member of the EMU women's soccer team. And then we already mentioned Ava and what she was able to do in her freshman season, setting those records for the program that is really looking for a renaissance with this pair up top. Hornets up 8-1, looking to extend it. Messinio options, goes to Hossauer, and tucks it away. Clinical offense for Lynchburg, and the passing has really shown up to full blast. Hossauer, now in her junior season, Pinehurst, North Carolina native. 92 career points and quickly approaching the 100 mark. Back to the draw circle, 11:21 to go here in the second quarter. Haley Walker moving quickly back to the center of the field. EMU almost caught napping. If you watch this Lynchburg defense, the way that they have really communicated today has been impressive and didn't necessarily get beat due to a big offensive onslaught against Marywood. They allowed just 8 goals and just couldn't find the back of the net on their own end. Hornets have to feel pretty good about their chances when their opponent only has 8 goals, but you really pair that with a long road trip, difficult game to try and prepare for right in the middle of the week. Hornets still searching. They go back up top. Chance for Madison Stewart. Down to Strano. Nice move to get right in front. Fancy footwork from 22 in red. Gabriella Strano, the junior from Eatontown, New Jersey. You see moves like that and you say, those are the attackers you want to get into movement and the motion. Lynchburg has, as we said, really used a lot of those moves the last few years, that isolation from the top. Able to get that one comfortably and move into double figures, 10-1. Feels like the Hornets here in these last few minutes starting to build more confidence with the draws, and they have quickly moved into the attacking third. Timberg pass over the top, and now it's centered out to Heffernan. Doherty. Sydney Dumas ready to fly. She'll step off the gas pedal this time. Doherty searching, trying to weave through contact, and a pair of defenders right there at the front. Free position on the way, and Lynchburg, a team that has really capitalized at a high rate this season. Converting 22 of their 39. Here it is, goes left-sided in. Taylor Doherty on the board. Hornets have opened up a double-figure lead. Exactly the start that they wanted, and especially knowing the schedule that's coming up. Randolph-Macon on Wednesday, Roanoke on Saturday. Two very difficult opponents and two clinical games that you ultimately feel like, when you look at the landscape of the ODAC, it comes down to one or two games for deciding the postseason and where you're playing. Lynchburg would love to be able to be at home. We'll have to wait and see in those critical moments. Steinow redirects. Dumas will send it up top. Veteran lineup back in for the opening stages of the second quarter. Now Heffernan ready to laser it to the left. Deflected, and EMU off on the clear attempt. Won't work this time. Traffic jam moving the other way, and Sydney Dumas too much physicality. One of the most physical players on the team. We've seen that aggression come out a few times. You look at the cards total too. That's not always a direct indication of who plays with that physicality, but you know that Sydney Dumas likes to move quickly. Sims to Haley Walker. Do the Royals have another in store? First goal belongs to Shaylee Sims, back earlier in the first quarter. The EMU, a team that fell 20-6 their last game against Hood, as the ball deflects out of bounds. Fell behind 5-0 after the first quarter and were able to find their way back into that contest. It was really the fourth where the Royals struggled. 9-1 outscored in the fourth, and that ultimately won't win you a lot of games throughout the season. EMU, as we said, really has to feel that the direction of this program is going to be centered around some of the newcomers. You got a freshman goalkeeper, underclassmen attackers up front with the Walker sisters, the sophomores. Here comes Neely Morris. Wide open lane. We'll look for the pass. Thought about it. Now ready to thread the needle. Goes front and center. And Emma Temberg able to collect one on the board. Hornets out in front, 12-1. The senior out of Williamsburg, Virginia. Missed last season with a torn ACL. That is goal number 13 for her Hornets career. Lynchburg enjoying the lead. Timeout called, 5:11 to go here in the second quarter. Stick with us. If you're just tuning in, the scoring has been by committee so far for the Lynchburg Hornets on Senior Day. They're up 12-1 with 5:11 to go here in this second quarter. It has certainly felt like it's all Lynchburg, and a day where you recognize, yes, you're losing a lot of talent next season, but it also sets the table for so many of the underclassmen who get to experience and enjoy these moments. The mentors on the big stage, and Lynchburg, a big stretch coming up. Randolph, Macon, and Roanoke await. Here's Emmy Clay, transfer from Radford. Only made 4 appearances for the Highlanders, but has had great IQ coming to Lynchburg, really someone who you can rely on as a veteran, a grad student. She'll try to facilitate up front, looking for options as Emma Timberg had the 12th goal of the game. And referee makes the call. And will give Lynchburg a free position opportunity up top. It's going to belong to Carly Jackson. Will attempt to get on the board for the Hornets, and she does. Bounce off the turf and in. We mentioned it's by committee. It's all the upperclassmen getting involved. Jackson, of course, a defender from Round Hill, Virginia. You don't get a lot of opportunities in the season to score. There was no doubt about that one. Didn't even make a step forward. Ready to fire right away. Baker's dozen for the Hornets. Certainly felt like right off that chance, Lynchburg knew what they were expecting, and the shot didn't waste a lot of time. Ball went to the sideline, and that will be an important one. Now Jackson back for the draw, and she wins it for Lynchburg. It feels like that has been the theme here in the second quarter. Just a dominant performance. Hornets looking to add on as Timberg hits the turf. They might have one more free position chance ensuing. See if it's another quick shot. Timberg converges, tries to go low. Taken away by Hunter. That has been the game plan for Lynchburg so far, looking at a lot of those shots that are close to the turf. Trying to find the tricky angles. Ava Walker couldn't move forward. Strong defense from Megan Wheeler. EMU looking to use some clock. Feels like for as much off-ball movement as we've seen from EMU, the problem is Lynchburg has just stayed closer to the goal. They've allowed a lot of it from the outside, and they've taken away just like they do here. Ready for liftoff on the other side. Dumas sprints ahead. Trying to motion the offense in. Now weaving all the way through and right in front of the frame. Makes it look easy to Sydney Dumas, 14-1. Another hat trick. It has just been a theme that has stuck around since her freshman season. Mentioned she had 13 last season. Well, you should look at the way that she started this year. It was furious. First 4 games of the season had already collected a hat trick. In her first 2 games, she scored 5 goals apiece. Obviously, in a game like this, you recognize she could score early and often. It's really set up her teammates as well. Final 20 seconds of this first half. In the first quarter that still felt like it was a close margin. Lynchburg really starting to rip off the Band-Aid against that Marywood team that toppled them by 2 goals. They have created a new narrative back at home, up 13 and feeling comfortable on this Saturday afternoon. We'll take a few minutes and give you some halftime stats and analysis, but so far, put simply, all Hornets here in the Hill City. 30 minutes down, 30 to go, and then look at our first half stats. Obviously overwhelmingly favoring Lynchburg. 14-1 is the score, 23 shots for the Hornets, and an efficient start as well. They have really lingered around over 60% of their shots falling through in this game, and the Hornets using their senior contributions to their advantage. 11 players have tallied a goal in this contest, so it has been a committee effort, and EMU trying to find their footing, an 0-8 squad this season, but obviously lots of room where they are going to see improvement with their youth in the next few years, and it has also been tough competition in the ODAC, a conference that seems to get better and better, not just in lacrosse, but in every sport as the years go by. This is a squad for EMU under coach Michaela Brooks-Favre in her 4th season. Began as a grad assistant in 2021, and being a 4-year player at Bridgewater certainly has to open your eyes to what's possible, and knowing you're right down the road from the Eagles campus, but also being familiar with some of these teams from the past. Always a welcome sign, a lot of teams that aren't going away. Lynchburg gets the opening draw. Hossauer advances it down the field, and we're off and running again. Evan Gates spending this Saturday afternoon with you, and a team that has really experienced success early, including in the second half. Madison Stewart slots it through. Make it 15 goals on the day for Lynchburg that has used some of that quick passing to its advantage. Hornets with a win will be 8-2 to begin the season. And you feel like you erased that loss against Marywood. Feels like they have been almost spotless throughout this campaign. You have a lot of those attackers back for your team, hoping to get some wins in marquee fashion as we approach the heart of conference play. Madison Stewart, the sophomore from Blacksburg, Virginia, an Emory and Henry transfer. Very speedy, and saw some of it on display. That's a theme with Lynchburg as well. A lot of speed getting down the field. See some more of it. Not wasting any time to begin the second half. A chance for Haley Williams. Tries to go coast to coast. Off the turf. Pops the net. One transfer starts the scoring. Another one continues it. The transfer from Longwood, Haley Williams. Goal number 8 on the season. That is a strong shot. And Lynchburg clearly coming out with a little bit of furiosity. They said, you know what? Let's not waste any time. (16-1) is your score. We'll get a chance to look at some scores from around the conference momentarily, but as we said, feels like outside of W&L at the top, it's a contenders race. Trying to topple the Generals for just the second time since 2003. EMU is their first offensive possession of the half. Looking to go right in front of the goal, and Owings, a quick stick to get the deflection. Looked like an opportunity for Sims to collect her second goal of the game. Score update from up north. Roanoke taking on TCNJ. And right now the Gothic Knights have an 8-7 advantage. Beg your pardon, if you are a fan of the schools up north, TCNJ, the Lions, and it's New Jersey City, they're the Gothic Knights. And it feels like if you're a Division III fan in general, see the number of schools that have competed up and down the East Coast. This women's lacrosse team expanding the vocabulary a little bit this season. They played Marywood, a team that you don't see very often for a lot of Lynchburg sports teams, and obviously depends on the schedules, depends on the coaches as you get all of those logistics figured out. But also some other schools that you might not have heard of as a Lynchburg fan. Lynchburg faced Felician University back in mid-February. That was a 15-3 victory. Obviously, Rhodes, a team you don't see every single year. That was an overtime victory at home, 16-15. Hornets off balance. Narrowly missed the piping on that far side of the goal. Now the ball rolls up the field. Who wants it? Chance for Stewart to collect. Now it continues forward. Referee will intervene. Just north of 10 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Royals still trying to converge. You see a lot of that cutting that starts from behind the goal, and this time there's too much contact. Now after reset positions, pass disrupted for a moment. Dumas trying to sneak out of trouble. Couldn't do so successfully. She will draw the whistle. The other score update right now in Lynchburg, Randolph leads Sweetbriar 14-5. Wildcats had an 8-point second quarter. Really put on a scoring display like Lynchburg did in the second quarter of this one. Reversing around, pass right on the doorstep, and another one from Arsenio. One of the newcomers that is starting to shine in her freshman campaign, already over 10 goals on the season. She notches another for her portfolio on the day. Hornets have advanced the tally to 17 goals on the day. While we're continuing the ODAC score updates, that's all we have for you right now. But a 4 o'clock start time for Shenandoah and Virginia Wesleyan. We mentioned that Shenandoah is a school right in the middle of the mix. Reached that ODAC title game last year. While some of those victories will be proven relatively decisively today, you know that when all of those opponents play one another in the coming weeks, the story will be revealed piece by piece. Transition again for the Hornets, Haley Williams. Tails back outside, delivers to Hossauer. We'll start the reversal. Pass over the top to a curling Scoggin. Reverse the direction. Now a fight for possession. Goalie got out there quickly. Alyssa Hunter were in possession for the Royals. As we said, she's played every minute and goal for the Royals this season, as has Olivia Owings on the other side. Both of these teams rely heavily on their goalkeepers, in part because there aren't a lot of reinforcements on the sideline. The goalkeeping position has been really a one-person shop so far. See if there are any changes. Obviously, you hope that injury isn't a piece of the puzzle. You see some teams that roll in with 3 or 4 goalkeepers, and then the problem is getting everyone reps. Olivia Owings, as we said about Alyssa Hunter, getting that experience early in the year, especially with some overtime games that have a little extra adrenaline, as Hossauer had to climb the ladder to retrieve the pass, sticks the landing to make it 18-1. Once again, the junior showing a little bit of that ability. A second-team All-ODAC selection last year where she had 32 goals. For a long time, the conversation and narrative has been about the top 3 scorers on the team. Dumas, Morris, and Steinau. Hossauer has started to join that conversation. She's been on the doorstep as the 4th scorer for Lynchburg, and when you look at her appearances at the attacking position, it feels like there's been more consistency here in this last year and a half. She can take the draws as well. This time it's collected by the Royals for a moment. Nice defense. It's Lynchburg trying to stay involved. Strano. And the ball rolls out on the far side onto the track. Starting to see some more fans come out in attendance on that far side. Have to expect more of the same tonight, 7 o'clock, as Lynchburg takes on Bridgewater on the men's side. And it feels like they haven't played at home at all this season. Just one home game in over a month span, and that one is the one that you're going to see on your screens at 7 o'clock. As it really feels like Lynchburg has had a great start to the season. The problem has been nobody has really been at Schellenberger Field to see it. Big home slate coming up through conference play. That'll be exciting, especially when the emotions start to rise, some of the tensions in those rivalries. It's always those games that are the memorable ones. Both lacrosse teams getting off to stellar starts. The men's team just 1 loss. The women's have only collected 2, and as we said with that Marywood game, a game that could go either direction, you might be looking at an 8-1 record right now. Royals haven't been able to find that pocket of space all game long. Stellar defense. That time, Taylor Doherty getting involved again. Extra pass, Sims trying to notch one home again, and Owings better defensively. Save tally starting to climb. Hornets goalkeeper with an 8-10 goals against average. Hornets trying to score 20 goals for the 4th time in series history against EMU. They have stuck on that trajectory really from the opening quarter. Scoring at a high clip. Timberg trying to get out of trouble. Everyone just trying to scoot that ball away, and Neely Morris finally has it. Now going to run through trouble, some extra contact. I think Morris wanted to just have that space ahead, but it's going to warrant a yellow card. That'll send Brianna Cruz-Dempsey to the sideline. Lynchburg going to have a man-up opportunity. Officiating has been very consistent on the Saturday afternoon, and when you have a stick to the head, that will typically send you to the box. We've talked about the hot start from Lynchburg on the season. Also a hot day here in the Hill City. Tomorrow, temperatures expected to go into the 80s, which for March, when you look at just a week or a week and a half ago and you saw 40 degrees, you're thinking, where has that been? Spring sports season's quickly approaching the climax as Timberg tries to connect right in front of the goal. Heffernan able to slot it through. First goal of the season for the Maryland native. We've seen those opportunities arrive, and Lynchburg capitalizes this time. The pass from Timberg just put perfectly on a platter. Now 19-1, Lynchburg with the advantage. Neely Morris, save a Schwartz, meet in the middle. 90 seconds to play in this third quarter. Lynchburg looking to avoid back-to-back losses, and they only lost back-to-back games once all of last season. Those were ODAC games to Shenandoah and Roanoke, two of those rivals that we've mentioned earlier in the broadcast. Typically teams that are ready to fight in a game like that. You know how much it means. Hornets have also yet to drop a game when leading at the half this season. It's a good theme to continue, especially into those tougher games. Hasn't been smooth sailing in the fourth quarter for Lynchburg throughout the season. You see those two overtime games, so when you think, oh, a lead at the half just meant that they were up by double digits, that's not necessarily true. Games where they have found their footing at the right time. See what EMU has in store. 33 seconds to go here in this third quarter. We talked about the rule change. You keep possession where you left off to begin the next quarter, and that might change some of those final opportunities. Whether you shoot or not, you see Lynchburg right now wanting to run. See what they decide to do. Emma Timberg, center of the field, now looking towards the left. Clock down to 10. Here's the spin. Perhaps wisely going to hold on to it on that far side, and that is where time expires. 19-1, Lynchburg out in front. The final 15 minutes on the way on LHSN and Flo College. Ready to start the fourth quarter here at Schellenberger Field. Let's look at Neely Morse and senior class of 11 for the Hornets. This obviously is not their final game at home. Sometimes you think senior day is only in that concluding game. Not the case for the Lynchburg women's lacrosse team, but it will be appreciated when they get into some of those tougher games. You won't have those conflicting narratives. Don't have to worry about all the celebrations and enjoying that time. Lots to look forward to for this squad and some big games upcoming. Randolph-Macon on Wednesday, as we've advertised. Going to be a thriller. That's a 7 o'clock start time. Quick movement on that far side was Nicholas, and now sends the ball the opposite direction, Heffernan. Back to the center, pass sneaks away for a moment. Shot clock down to 5, and Hornets just gonna send it on its way. For Coach Mackenzie Rafferty, Micah Slinkum on her side. It's exciting to see the way that this team has operated, and we mentioned it earlier. Several of these athletes had to go through the coaching change early in their career as Coach Rafferty arrived on the scene for their sophomore season. And when you're involved with trying to help that search, trying to cater to whatever this program needs, it's pretty special for Coach Rafferty to know that, yes, you know, this squad believed in me. We had that opportunity to almost grow together. Of course, Coach Rafferty has been the former coach at Florida Tech, spent 32 weeks inside the top 25 for D2. Now propelling this Lynchburg team, trying to get back into the conference considerations and also into the top national rankings. We've seen that success from the men's side here in recent years as they have gone as high as the top 5 where they sit right now. Emmy Clay looking to go coast to coast. Run will taper out. 12.5 to go. The shot collected by the keeper, Hunter. She's put on a solid performance so far. This time clear, unsuccessful. Nothing she could do that time. Riley Donnelly on the board. A quick attack. That is where the Hornets are so proficient, making you pay some of those departments. Through 3 quarters, Lynchburg had fired 30 shots. It's been very balanced among those 3 quarters, and ultimately, in this fourth, you're trying to handle those fundamentals. Progression is not always a linear trend. Feel like throughout the season you're going to have your highs and your lows. This is a moment that Lynchburg's going to appreciate, getting this level of victory. When you're able to put 20 on the board, penetration this time, shot just right of the pipe. There's a chance for Ava Schwartz, the freshman out of Fluvanna. EMU will travel to Virginia Wesleyan on Wednesday. 5 o'clock start time. Always difficult to have those late games in Virginia Beach. EMU will want to talk things over as Michaela Brooks-Favre will call time. 10-12 to go here in this fourth quarter. We'll be back in a moment. Just over 10 minutes to go. Thanks for tuning in on this Saturday afternoon. Lynchburg takes on EMU in this women's lacrosse contest, and a series where the Hornets have dominated in the past few years. EMU's program didn't start until 2020. And obviously, if you remember anything about that year, difficult for the sports landscape to get off and running. When you're looking at the scheduling logistics, this was a team that had to compete with the coronavirus going around, didn't have a full season, just 2 games, and have finally had a few seasons in a row where they could start and get everything rolling. The Royals have really been around the ODAC for a long time in other sports, and this program is starting to develop, starting to obviously learn what the culture is and what direction you want it to go in. Free turf ahead for Nicholas. Now changes direction, looking to go all the way, ran into contact. That'll be a free possession shot ensuing. Quick movement. Look to go right to left, and have to imagine she's going to try and take this shot herself. Seen a lot of the seniors ready to rip. Hornets on the sideline, ready to celebrate. Looks to go upstairs and able to clear the net. Got to appreciate the effort up and down the board. The senior defenders on the board. Saw Carly Jackson get one earlier, Megan Wheeler. Several of these defenders who have been critical pieces on the other side of the field, translating it into offense. Hornets have opened up a 20-goal lead. Has to feel good for Coach Rafferty's squad to score this number of goals after that affair against Marywood, because the first quarter was the only period where the Hornets had multiple goals in that one. Had 3 to their name. They were outshot 27-22. You think about some of those tight games when the offense isn't functioning at the rate you know it can. And as a coach, it can be so frustrating because it's never when you expect it. Just the sporadic nature of sports and trying to navigate. But to get on the right page this time through 10 games, a chance to be 8-2. Not a bad mark at all for this Hornets team. And you really enter that question mark phase of the season. You know you've been around those tight opponents for a long time, but can you get the wins when you need them to advance in that postseason? EMU now going to have a free possession chance on their side. Chance for Kayleen Todd. Junior out of Winchester, Virginia, also plays for the women's basketball team. Shot just narrowly deflected. Owings got an awkward part of the stick on that one as it deflects to the right. Todd has started every appearance but one for the Royals and has just been a consistent fixture in that lineup. Lynchburg working around the circle inside the final 7 minutes. Now up top, here comes Hossauer. Dodges to her right, back outside. Timber. Trying to get that first step, better defense from EMU. Certainly feels like Lynchburg is content to use every ounce of the clock. Gonna move past this time, a shot. But after the referee's signal, and they'll count the goal. Madison Stewart gonna get credit for another. Shot percentages starting to climb for several individuals in this game. It has been a high caliber attack as Sydney Dumas re-enters the contest to go straight to the draw circle. For Lynchburg, it feels like in their victories this season, it hasn't just been the offensive side that's been impressive, but also that defense that has held their opponents to very small numbers. In fact, in 6 wins this season, their opponents have had 2 assists or fewer. You know, assists can really facilitate that offense, get the passing rolling. It just hasn't been the case. And for this particular game, EMU notched at just 1 goal. To hold the leading score off the board, Ava Walker hasn't found one yet. It's the little narratives. If you can just continue to conquer, you're in a good spot for the rest of the year. Pass inside to cutting Katie Babinis, who's lost for the moment. Now Chastity corner. Advancing on that far side, now getting to the middle. Could be a long run to set up her teammates. Here is Babinis, moves to the left. Tags the net. First goal of the year for the defender out of Virginia Beach. Several Hornets able to pop the net for the first time this season. That's what it's all about. And how about the pass down the field from corner? Started at almost midfield. Lynchburg producing a lot of souvenirs in a game like this. We've seen several of the balls roll to the sideline. Collectibles. And for great reason. Draw is taken over by Lynchburg. Hassauer advances it. Hornets obviously have this thing all but sealed, and looking forward to Wednesday, you've got to recognize the energy has to be here on Schellenberger Field. You've got to bring the fight to a team like Randolph-Macon that has really owned that storyline in the last few seasons. Pair of 13-12 victories for the Yellow Jackets last year over the Hornets, and you think that one has to sting a little bit in the locker room. This Hornets team understands what it takes to take those next steps. Contact on the way to the goal for Haley Williams. Mentioned what she has done as a transfer already on the year before this game. 7 goals, 2 assists, 7 ground balls. She'll like to pass this one out as we approach the final 60 seconds. EMU still looking to right the ship. 6-11 last season. They were 4-6 in ODAC play. But they also recognize it's been a tough schedule to start the year. Very odd on the stat sheet as well. 2 of their top 3 scorers have been defenders. Recognize that versatility, and the problem sometimes when you haven't been able to win games is other teams will heavily scout those top players and producers, knowing that the rest of the team doesn't have that same level, at least on the stat sheet. But you got to feel like the Royals understand they're moving forward with the youth movement. Lynchburg relied on their veterans heavily on senior day. 23-1 will be capped as the final storyline here on Schellenberger. Committee effort. The Hornets have to feel proud at staying undefeated on their home turf, now 5-0 in the Hill City. Exciting ones next week. Randolph, Macon, and Roanoke on the docket, but they'll enjoy the senior day celebrations for now. Hornets win it by 22. And thank you for tuning in on LHSN and Flow College. Big thanks to everybody who made it possible. And, of course, our producer, our director, Landon. We'll say so long for now, but stick around as it's a 7 o'clock start time for the men's game as they take on Bridgewater right here in just about 4 hours. For now, we're saying so long from the Hill City. My name's Evan Gates. Enjoy your Saturday.